Lamar is counting down the days, Brew, to the season opener against the Bills. We're at 81 days. Lamar's got vengeance on his mind. Take a listen.
I don't think I get over any loss, to be honest. I got losses from youth football that still hunt me, so I never get over a loss. I don't care how small it may be to someone else or how great it might be. It's always the same for me. Before it was like, oh, you can't win a playoff game. No, we won a playoff game. We got to the LC Championship 2 years ago. Then we just fell short, like 2 games short this year. But we're going to bounce back. And when we come back, I feel like we're going to have vengeance on our mind.
Literally the best. Also, Lamar meeting newly signed Jair Alexander. So that's good. Brew, your reaction to Jair and the idea that Lamar has vengeance on his mind.
And they were college buddies.
Yeah, they played at Louisville.
Yeah.
I love getting Jair Alexander. I mean, look, and their defense ended up being pretty good, by the end of the season. But they were nearly the worst pass defense in the league, as far as yards allowed and things, touchdowns, things like that. So getting him, I love that. And look, Lamar's just got to get it done. He is an awesome regular season quarterback. I thought he definitely got over some humps last year. Nick thought, big games, he struggled. I didn't think Pittsburgh was as big a game as him, but he beat the Steelers twice, right? Regular season and the playoffs.
Great argument.
And then played well in that game against Buffalo that they lost.
In the second half.
And I think he did, look, you can't underestimate the fumble, right? And he did have an interception and a fumble in that game. He only had 4 interceptions in the whole regular season.
And the
he
interception
only had one in the last 6
was
games.
Brutal.
Yes.
It was just like a 5-yard overthrow. It wasn't like it seemed like he didn't. The 4 interceptions he had in the regular season, if we remember, there was a whole internet thing. It was like, hey, he's throwing 4 picks, and actually all of them were perfect passes, and he got unlucky. And some of that was actually true. And then his first, that was picked because it was just a terrible pass all year. Was early
exactly.
in the playoffs.
And that's the thing. So I think he gained some ground in terms of his postseason play. Here's what Lamar has to do. He just can't think too much about the past and about the monkey on his back. Yeah. Like, you can't go in, he can't be thinking, I got to win the Super Bowl. I got to win the Super Bowl. I got to win the Super Bowl this year. I haven't been great in the playoffs. I haven't been as good in the playoffs. Like, he's just got to go out there, not think too much, and play. Because they on paper, their team is phenomenal, largely because of him, but they got a lot of pieces elsewhere. They got a great team on paper.
KW.
Yes?
What do you want to say to me?
Say to you?
Yeah. After you hear Lamar talking about, I still think about losses from Pop Warner.
Well, I don't know.
And I was right. That this is a take that, while unpopular and while makes me a villain, is 100% spot on. Every piece of evidence we have, including Lamar's own words, is a guy who gets tight in big spots.
Oh.
Whether it's for the same reasons as James Harden or Aaron Judge, the guys I've talked about before, the result is the same. And it is there was something else he said last year that I thought echoed this. I can't quite sure.
Well, last year he said something about being tight.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last year.
It was going into
it. And then he reversed it, after they asked him again about it later.
Exactly right.
Weeks later.
And now he's like, no, I think about these losses haunt me forever. Is what he said.
So you think that?
Yes. I think he wants it.
I don't feel
I think he's great. And I think that there is no, we can put up these 2 graphics. This is just Lamar in the regular season is one of the greatest players ever. Truly. Lamar in the playoffs is bad. It's not like, it's bad for standards. That's bad. And then there's this, which is part of this is you're a victim of your own success. But he is the single biggest drop, Wilds, in regular season win percentage to playoff win percentage of any player ever.
Okay. First off, I don't got the strength to dig up these clips, but I did this last playoff run, this past season, essentially. when they kept saying, oh, Lamar admits that he's nervous. This is what I've been telling you. And I said, all right. And I went out and found Patrick Mahomes clips of him talking about how he gets nervous and that being nervous is normal, this, that. And no one had anything to say. He said it when he was being interviewed during the Super Bowl week. He said it in previous games and whatnot, but it's like, it's okay. And I made a whole video all around it. So like this idea, like, do you think Patrick Mahomes isn't haunted by any of his losses? Are you kidding me? You think he's not haunted by being humiliated and dominated in the Super Bowl? Both 2 Super Bowls? Of course. I don't get tight in games. And bro, I can still remember some huge losses in my career in all the various sports that I've played. I still remember, I still think about how they could go differently. I don't get tight. I play the tape in my head and I wish it could go differently. Dare I say, sometimes I even daydream about it going differently. And I'm like, oh yeah, remember when I did that thing? But no, I didn't. It didn't happen. Like, that's just normal. That's called being an athlete. That's called being a contender. That's what it is to just keep fighting. I'm haunted by my mistakes. I'm haunted by my failures in all aspects of my life, whether it's relationships, whether it's family, whether it's professional, and that's what keeps me going day after day after day after day after day after day after day. I'm haunted by the life that I had prior to making videos on a channel like this. I wasn't very happy at all. And now what I'm doing here, all the amount of time that I spend making all these videos is like, you know, I spend more time doing this than I've done anything else in my entire life. Outside of, I guess, maybe actually like playing sports, because that's pretty time intensive. But during my actual, you know, professional, you know, like whatever, I spent so much time doing this. And anytime that I think about like, I'll just sleep in, or do I really need to? I mean, during the regular season, I'm making like 12, 15 videos a day. I'm posting videos on the weekends. Like I posted like since the end of 2023. So really since 24, I've recorded like 3,500 videos, real videos, not shorts, not little 30-second short, like real videos. And part of the motivation is like, I didn't very much like who I was in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. I like the person I'm becoming in 2024 and 2025. And this channel is a big reason for it. And so, you know, and there's dates or relationships that I've had that crash and burned. And I'm haunted by my own mistakes that I've made. And moving forward, when I go on dates, when I get back in relationships, it's important to kind of reflect on that. It's important to keep that in your mind. That's how you grow. That's how you change. In 2024, I was not with my mom or dad on Mother's Day or Father's Day. That haunted me. I got parents who were getting older by the second, and I'm like, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be with them on 2025 because they could be in a box underground. Real talk. And I was just like, man, I don't want that to happen again. And it didn't, because I was haunted by it. And so I made sure that different decisions were made this time around. That's how that works. So to use this as evidence of him getting tight or this, it's like, it's so infuriating, because just the other day, Nick talked about how Patrick Mahomes in the game against, you know, all the games against specifically Josh Allen in the playoffs, that he's played perfect, that he's been perfect. And it's like, Patrick Mahomes fumbled the ball in the AFC Championship game last year. Like, what are we inventing here? Like, why do we always have to make stuff up and exaggerate? And, you know, was Lamar Jackson perfect in that game, you know, in the playoffs this past year? Like, no, he was not. He was not. But it wasn't just all on him. Okay? He's had his limitations in the playoffs that I do believe he does need to step up and be better. I do think that's fair. But we can also acknowledge that coaching has also dropped the ball, that the players have literally dropped the ball. I wish I could show you a highlight right now, but the NFL is a little wonky with showing highlights. But you have Mark Andrews dropping a pass that hits him in his hands in the in the playoffs, obviously, against the Buffalo Bills. That was Lamar Jackson's experience. I hit you in the hands and you drop it. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. What does Travis Kelce do? Makes a diving, like, backwards catch. I mean, he had 11 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. 11 for 11. I mean, when you really think about it, there's all this talk about Travis Kelce going down, 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 and it's true. But in the moment when Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs needed him most, what did he do? He played like an all-time great in his prime. That's the difference. This is the catch that Travis Kelce is making. And this is the ball that Mark Andrews dropped. Do you see the difference? Do you see him making this catch? Do you see him not? These are factors. These are factors. It's not everything. I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson doesn't deserve any blame, because he does. But these are important key factors. Okay? They just are. They just are. So it's just, again, to use some of the playoff failures, and they're there for him and the team, but to use that to build off of by him saying this thing about I don't think I get over any losses, but we're going to bounce back, blah 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 blah, as a means to him, proof that he chokes like James Harden, and then it's just nonsense. There's no other way to slice it. It's so absurd to use that as a aha. But yeah, I'll just emphasize one last time. Lamar Jackson needs to be better, and the Baltimore Ravens need to be better. Both things can be true. What I take issue with is the idea that all the failures are just on Lamar. Like, this team is just rolling, and he's great, and then he gets to the playoffs, and it's just the opposite, and it's all on him. That I refuse. And then wanting to paint the picture that it's because he gets tight or nervous or whatever based off of a statement like, that he has here. I don't think I get over any losses, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to have vengeance on our mind is insane. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? Lamar getting nervous and getting tight. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.